Next on the news, they're helping the next generation by giving them the best education.
It's good to be in a school that they love God and pray with God.
We tell you about the scholarship making it happen. As the government shutdown continues, federal employees are feeling the pains of working without a paycheck. We check in at the airport with the struggle affecting TSA officers. Plus,
we don't have a lot of children that are surrendered on a regular basis, but to us, one is too many.
A community bands together to help babies in need after one child was tragically lost. I'm Katie Vasquez. Currents News starts right now. Just like their heritage, one group is ensuring their faith is being passed on to the next generation. The Tri-State Italian-American Congress is offering scholarships so qualifying students can continue to get the best education. And the money is proving to be a godsend for some in the Diocese of Brooklyn. Students from Diocese of Brooklyn schools prayed with Bishop Robert Brennan at a special service at the Cathedral Basilica of St. James. Among the faces included 5th grader Joseph Marcelino.
It's good to be in a school that they love God and pray with God.
When he was in 2nd grade, the Catholic student lost his father, who he was named after.
It's been tough for us because just me and my mom didn't know what to do since he was gone.
His mother worried that she wouldn't be able to continue paying the tuition for Good Shepherd Catholic Academy. Getting a faith-based education was important to his dad.
My husband, he's graduation in the Catholic school, and he loves Catholic school, so put my son in the Catholic school.
Fortunately, that financial burden was lifted through a $2,000 scholarship, about half a year's tuition from the Tri-State Italian-American Congress, a gift that brought tears to Yim's eyes.
For me, it's very difficult. At the very worry. Right now, it's a very big hard parts.
The organization donated $75,000 to Futures in Education's Being Angel program to support 38 students of Italian descent.
Well, I remember when I went to Catholic school, I think tuition was only $2 a month. And I know today it's impossible to do that.
Bishop Brennan says these partnerships allow students to continue learning at Diocese of Brooklyn schools.
You can see, in a sense, that these investments in our young people are already paying dividends, to hear them pray, to hear their voices as we were praying the Our Father.
Look at that.
And Joseph knows his dad is probably beaming with pride that he's not only continuing his education, but honoring his heritage.
I think he would be really proud of me and really happy that I got the scholarship. As I mentioned, a Catholic education is the best for any student, and that's not an opinion. Just look at these test scores from the Archdiocese of New York. They show nearly 70% of kids in Catholic schools from grades 3rd to 8th showed proficiency in English language arts, compared to the 56% rate in public schools. Meantime, in math, around 67% of Catholic students achieved proficiency, compared to the almost 57% in public schools. So how does the Diocese of Brooklyn fare? Well, tune in on Friday, November 14th. The superintendent of schools for the diocese, Deacon Kevin McCormick, will be here to give us an update on how kids across Brooklyn and Queens are doing in the classroom, and how the diocese is committed to forming their students' mind, body, and soul. That's Friday, November 14th at our usual time of 7 p.m. right here on Currents News. You can also find in the latest edition of the tablet the story of a soon-to-be priest's mission to bring God's word to the Diocese of Brooklyn. Paul Swolak was one of 4 men ordained a transitional deacon by Bishop Robert Brennan last weekend, which means he is one step closer to his priestly ordination. Read about his road so far and his journey ahead as he works to answer God's call.
The tablet also covered the legacy of another Brooklyn priest ahead of Veterans Day. Monsignor Andrew Landy was sent to Rome in 1944 to minister to the victims of World War II, but then spent 2 decades providing haven to refugees of civil strife and natural disasters. So don't forget to pick up the tablet at your local church this weekend to read these amazing stories. You can also support the tablet and Catholic journalism by becoming a member. You can do so by going online to thetablet.org/become-a-member. Turning now to the latest on the government shutdown, the 37-day streak, meaning thousands are out of work and millions are struggling to find their next meal. According to new analysis, nearly 5 million food stamp recipients will not receive any benefits in November under the plan the Trump administration issued Tuesday to comply with a court order. The Department of Agriculture said Monday that it would issue partial benefits this month by tapping into the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP's contingency fund. But some families receiving assistance make too much money to receive the partial benefits. On top of that, starting this Friday, the Federal Aviation Administration is cutting 10% of air traffic at 40 airports nationwide. The measure, meant to ensure safety at the airport, comes as TSA workers struggle to continue working without a paycheck. Currents News' Jenna McDermott reports.
In this church basement, an assembly line of volunteers prepares plates destined for the airport.
They're going to work every day. At least this is one thing we can help them out with.
And we're going to load these up.
Daryl English is the regional president of the National Union representing Transportation Security Administration officers.
You're awesome back here.
On a crisp Monday morning, he and other union reps load up coolers, then drive an hour to deliver free meals to TSA officers at Chicago Midway International Airport.
So we know that it's been a month now. Officers are struggling, so anything that we can do to help them out. They're going through a lot of personal and emotional stress right now. They're on top of their jobs.
Amid the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, these TSA officers are in a holding pattern. They're essential employees, so they have to work, but aren't getting paid. In Houston this week, a major jam at security. Lines lasted up to 3 hours as some TSA employees called out sick. Top leaders in Washington blame each other.
As every day goes by, I think the problem is going to only get worse, not better. I hope that Democrats come to their senses and end this shutdown.
This is day 35 of the Trump Republican shutdown. Donald Trump and the Republicans cannot govern.
But TSA officers are asking, does it even matter?
Well, at this point, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's about who's going to help us get fed. So we're not trying to point fingers at it. We're just trying to bring people together.
I felt like I was pushed into a corner.
Roxy Knightley was a TSA officer until Friday, when she says she resigned.
I tried to push through for as long as I could, but my lease is literally about to end within the next 2 weeks. And landlords require 2 pay stubs. I do not have 2 recent pay stubs.
Now, Roxy is moving out of state to live with a friend.
I kind of feel a little bit lost, to be honest with you, because I did, intend to continue working as a transportation security officer. It definitely was not an easy decision for me to have to make. It breaks my heart that it's come to this.
Jenna McDermott, Currents News.
Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens is hosting an emergency food pantry for federal workers this Friday. That will be at the organization's Monsignor Pfeiffer Resource Center, located at 155-55 Cross Bay Boulevard in Howard Beach. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, this Friday, November 7th. You must bring your employee federal ID. And anyone struggling with food insecurity following the shutdown, CCBQ's 60 pantries in Brooklyn and Queens are open for you, no appointment needed. To find a location, visit ccbq.org or call 718-722-6001. Over in Iowa, a fire department makes a pro-life decision after a tragic loss.
So, Holy God, source of life and love, bless this safe haven baby box.
The Norwalk Fire Department's new Safe Haven baby box was blessed during an open ceremony on Tuesday. The temperature-controlled box with the bassinet in a wall was a response from local leaders and the community after a mother and grandfather admitted to leaving a days-old child in a trash bag in 2023. Leaders say the baby's death shocked the community enough to encourage them to help raise the around $15,000 to get the Safe Haven box.
Don't have a lot of children that are surrendered on a regular basis, but to us, one is too many. We're not looking to replace traditional adoption, but we are providing an alternative for people that find that that's not the option for them.
60 seconds after a baby is placed in the box, an alarm goes out to dispatch and firefighters are alerted within 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The baby then goes to the hospital before being placed in the state's custody. Under Iowa's Safe Haven law, babies up to 90 days old can be surrendered at hospitals, police stations, and fire stations without fear of prosecution. Since it went into effect, more than 78 babies have been safely surrendered. And finally tonight, we have an exciting announcement from a member of our current family. On October 28th, baby Katerina Sophia Corsi was born, coming in at 9 pounds, 8 ounces. Her mom is a face that probably looks familiar to you. Melissa Corsi reported for Currents News during our historic conclave coverage. She was actually pregnant while she was running around Rome and the Vatican with me, covering that huge moment in history. Melissa and Katerina are both doing well, and big brother Philip is doing his job, making his new sister smile. Congratulations to Melissa, her husband Nicolo, and Philip on the newest member of the Corsi family. We're all praying for you. That is this Currents News update. I'm Katie Vasquez. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.